Okay, we there? All right. So usually over here there's the tongs in the buckets. You can take the tongs and you can grab the side of the bowl or any object that you're gonna do. They're kind of flexy, and so they grab onto, you know, in different directions. So that's one way to do it. So if you're gonna dip your piece completely in one color, you can do the tongs. If you want to do overlapping colors, you can dip into one color, let it dry, change, you know, hold it from the other side, and then dip it into another color. So I'm going to demonstrate everything you need to do. So remember, the tall buckets need to get the tall drill, and you take the lid off. You're gonna look at the colors that you want first. Check the number. Check the numbers on top of the lid, and then if you want to double check, you check the tile that's on the handles. Make sure you got the right one. So you're gonna put the drill in the liquid first, kind of stir it around, kind of scrape the bottom a little bit, and then drill for maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, stop the drill, let it drip, and then always put your hand underneath. Walk over to the sink, rinse it off, and everybody else be aware of the cords while you're walking around. And then remember the shorter buckets, get the immersion blender, so basically the same thing. You want to rinse them off. So let's say I just want this one color and I'm going to use that one, so I can grab the bowl with the tongs. And I'm just gonna go in and out. I'm not gonna hang out for long in there, otherwise the glaze gets too thick. So I just dip the whole thing, turn it upside down. If it's like a round piece, you can kind of rotate as it's drying, so if there's a drip, it's kind of rotating around the rim. Okay, so see where the tongs are touching, there's gonna be little dots there where the glaze didn't go. So you can either bring it over to this table or that table. You can just set it down. You can see how fast it dries. Take your tongs, rinse them off. Make sure there's no color on there for the next person. Okay, and then you're gonna get one of these big sponges, wring it out so it's slightly damp on the bottom, or hold the bowl like this, and then you put the bowl on top, and all you really need to do is scooch the bowl around, and just your slight pressure is going to take a lot of it off. And if you notice, it's also taking about a 1/4 inch off the bottom edge. So like we did with the tiles, you need to make sure that you've got a 1/4 inch that's totally clean. So you can check it by putting it down on the table, rotating it, making sure there's no glaze down there that might have the chance to drip. Okay, so then I've got the weird dots from the tongs, so I can take a small brush, bring it over here to the bucket, and just try to do little dots on wherever it needs extra glaze. So this, it might show up depending on the type of glaze and how it fires. So it might be like a little irregularity in the color right there in those spots. Okay, rinse that out. Make sure it's all clean for someone else. Put it back. And then it's done, basically. So you're gonna show me your bowl first, make sure it's all clean, and I look at the spacing. Then you can put it back in your shelves. Okay. Also, if you want to do overlapping colors instead of just one color, you can totally do that. The one thing you want to make sure of is that the glaze doesn't get too thick. If it's very thick, it's much more likely to drip. So we'll pay attention to the thickness of the glazes. Okay? Okay. Cool, that is it. So then rinse out your sponge. So basically all these glazes I have been sitting since yesterday, so they all need mix except for the one I just did.